This is the moment the SPD supporters have been waiting for. Hannelore Kraft meets and greets her constituency. Kraft is a consummate politician. Whenever she's on the campaign trail, she takes the time to shake hands, sign autographs and mingle with voters. The Social Democrats' traditional up-close and personal campaign strategy speaks to her strengths. Hannelore Kraft has been state premier for 2 years now. North Rhine-Westphalia is deeply in debt and its budget is tight. The voters here know that and they're worried about the future.
We don't have any money that we could cut out of the budget. Here in Ireland, there's nothing left to cut. Of course, we have to think about saving money somewhere, but in the case of university fees, I think that's just something the government has to cover.
We'll need to make some cuts, yes, but not in areas that affect children and education.
To reassure her voters, Hannelore Kraft has made many campaign promises. If she's re-elected, she'll continue to invest in children. Daycare fees will be reduced, roads will be built, and universities won't start charging fees. She's also promising to implement budget cuts, but she's taking it slow. That's what her voters want.
Many of the people I talk to know that university fees are a thorny issue, especially for lower-income students, and that daycare fees are a huge burden. We want a high-quality educational system, and we want children from less advantaged families also to have access to higher education. That all costs money, and people understand that.
Hannelore Kraft's main competitor is this man, Norbert Röttgen, and his campaign style is a very different one. The Christian Democrat prefers to avoid big rallies and big crowds. Röttgen prefers the rational approach over appeals to emotion, and his election promises reflect that.
We've had the financial crisis and the euro crisis, the debt crisis, trillion-euro rescue packages. Even though it's a dead end, some people want to continue that way. But the citizens don't run their own families that way. They know that they can't keep taking on more and more debt.
Norbert Röttgen is currently the Federal Environment Minister in Chancellor Merkel's cabinet. But voters in North Rhine-Westphalia worry that Röttgen will keep his eye on the national stage to the detriment of local issues. And his call for budget cuts isn't popular either. His CDU looks headed for the worst election result in years.
He hasn't yet hit his stride. And it's been a tough campaign, as you can see from the discussions with our candidate. It's not so easy to convince people that the CDU and Norbert Röttgen are right for our state.
I've spoken to some people here today, and they're saying we really need to think about who we'll vote for. People are very uncertain.
The mood among Social Democrats is much brighter. They're well ahead in the polls. But Hannelore Kraft and her team know that even with a win, their prospective coalition partner isn't faring that well this time round. The Greens are struggling, and Kraft has made it clear that she doesn't want another minority government.
We're fighting for a strong SPD. We want to continue governing with the Greens, and I'm confident that's what we'll do.
And if she's wrong?
I'm not worrying about that now. We have our experiences from the last election. If it turns out to be complicated, we'll hold talks to see who we can work with. We'll deal with that situation should it arise.
The Conservatives, for their part, are preparing for a probable defeat. Norbert Röttgen has had to realise that elections can't be won with just promises to trim government spending. Chancellor Merkel has been keeping a careful eye on the state election and on Röttgen's attempt to make her budget policy a key issue of the vote.
It won't help the Chancellor if our largest state sinks further into debt. We need our voters to support Angela Merkel by voting CDU so that we'll have a government here that supports Angela Merkel.
In North Rhine-Westphalia, Hannelore Kraft is riding high, and she sees the recent elections in France and Greece as further vindication of her policies. There, the winning candidates oppose Chancellor Merkel's fiscal course. And 1 year before Germany holds national elections, the country's most populous state may go the same way.